Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here at the end of the 2022-2023 season, our Bayern Munich Kit Quest Manager mode. So we're kind of gonna do the recap of the season and whatnot. So in terms of like how we did in all the various competitions we were in, kind of transfer business, how we kind of did with kind of achieving the board objectives that we talked about at the beginning in the intro, and then kind of player stats and how Mathys Tel did and whatnot. So I guess the first thing I'll go through is the transfer business. I guess we'll kind of do it a little different this time. Go to transfer business first, and because I kind of don't have my notebook with me, I didn't really kind of write down in as much detail as I typically do. Kind of like all our various business and whatnot. So I kind of made sure to keep like all these emails and stuff from like the in-game emails to like kind of go through it that way. So kind of the first piece of business were like Serge Gnabry and their Sana had in-game release clauses that I don't know if they actually have IRL because I think Bayern's very like reluctant to give release clauses out. Like so, there's been kind of like stories recently, kind of about how like Harry Kane has like one where it's like he can trigger it in January or whatever. Like and that was like a very rare I guess thing for Bayern to give out to players. So I guess it's probably just EA Sports doing EA Sports things, especially considering they're literally the exact same value. But so basically, what I did with those is because their contracts weren't like 2 years or less, I was like, I don't really want to give you up just yet, especially not to like what Man United and Inter I wouldn't have minded too much, but Man United would have been, I guess even then not really too big mind because they're just a mess. But so basically, what I ended up doing was I then because like it says you can kind of offer them a renewed contract to kind of basically cancel out the release clause. So I basically did that and offered them like slight raises. I think at the same kind of year terms. I think like they both had like their wages are both like 90,000 euros a week or whatever. And then I offered I think like both like 95 a week and like at the same kind of number of years, and they accepted. So that was kind of good. Then in terms of kind of actual transfers, I didn't really do that much business to be honest. As I'll kind of say this now, we didn't bring any players in at all, just because that's kind of the size of the squad and stuff. Like there wasn't really any room at the moment to bring players in, so we just had to kind of get rid of some players. So I see Daily Blind, his contract was expiring, and so I kind of made a deal to sell him to Brighton for 11.5 million pounds. And Alexander Pavlovich loaned out for a year. Sven Ulreich for 1.4 million, I keep saying that, euros to Rangers in the Scottish Premier League. Bonus Star, the Cadiz CF for 2.5 million euros. And then manager awards kind of neither here nor there. And then this was in the January window, I think. Yeah, January window we sold Gabriel Marusic. She was for Sevilla for 710,000 pounds. Mazraoui was kind of the same thing here as the other two, where like he got offered a thing by Man City, which there was no way in hell I was letting a player go to Man City. So I kind of did the same thing, where I think I like upped his wages from like 50 something, like 60,000 euros a week, and cut out the same year's terms, and he kind of agreed that. Manager award, neither here nor there again. Player injured, yeah. Alphonso Davies tore his quad in, let's say March 11th. I could pull up the specific match. Alphonso Davies tears quad against in our 1-1 draw with Borussia Mönchengladbach in match day 26. Yeah, Davies tore his quad, so then we're kind of João Cancelo got a absolute butt ton of playing time kind of after that because him and Davies were kind of rotating a little bit before this, but then after that injury, Cancelo kind of had all the stuff. The manager award again. Neither here nor there. Then Justin Janicic, the UTAR, which is a Romanian club, for 840,000 euros, and that was kind of it in terms of transfer business. I didn't bring anyone in just because like the size of the squad and like stuff. Because of the amount of people on loan and whatnot, it was kind of like I was having a hard time figuring out. Well, like not a hard time, but I like had to like kind of like I kind of like to do it where it's like okay, we kind of whittle it down to like we have two people left, like a starter and a backup basically in terms of the squad, and then like we move one out and move one in kind of system. So because of the size of the squad, like most of these three of these players were all center backs. We have like a bajillion. The Bayern had like a bajillion center backs, so there wasn't really any point in replacing any of them with anyone because we had like four center backs. They're all like 80 or overall or higher, like on longer term deals already at the club. And then kind of Bonasar, we already had two right backs, and then Sven Ulreich, we already had like four goalkeepers. So there's no point in bringing anyone in. So yes, we kind of did a lot of transfers out for small value and nothing in. So I guess in terms of the big thing, that is kind of like how we did in various kind of competitions. I guess you could probably just saw the Bundesliga results. We'll start kind of at the beginning of the season with the Super Cup, which was against Dortmund for some reason, even though the Super Cup should have been against RB Leipzig, at least according to the Wikipedia page for this season, because they played like Leipzig in the Super Cup, because I guess they must have won the DFB Pokal 2022 edition. All right, let me pull the Wikipedia page here. Maybe there's some reason. Yeah, no, so Leipzig won the 2021-22 Pokal, so I don't really know why the game made Dortmund the other team in the Super Cup, but we beat them 5-2 in the Super Cup. It's a Mathys Tel hat trick, and then goals from Kingsley Coman and Sadio Mane. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so there we go. I'll start the season off with silverware in the first competitive match, and I kind of sling it back. The Bundesliga, as you see here, we had a pretty excellent season with 88, our total being 88 points, only losing 2 matches all season. I think goals for and goals against, absolutely massive. 102 goals for, 26 goals against. For like our goal difference basically was like big, like kind of higher than any other team's points total, which kind of just shows how dominant Bayern are could be like in real life and in the game. But in terms of kind of how that kind of went around, so we're on like track basically for an invincible season, and we triggered as such. We kind of clinched the title very early. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. Yeah, we clinched the title with a 1-0 victory away to Dortmund in match day 28 with a Leroy Sané goal. And it kind of clinched the title for us. Then we didn't end up celebrating the title until match day 30 against RB Leipzig, which ended up being the first match we lost because it was a match we were supposed to simulate. So because like I wanted the footage, of us like do the trophy ceremony and all that good stuff, I did like the slow sim and then I kind of jumped in like right at the end, and then right at the end was like a corner, and kind of wasn't paying attention, kind of making sure I was like ready to click the record button to make sure like I could get the footage, and then they scored in the corner and broke the 2-2 tie. And it kind of ended our hopes of an invincible season, but then ended up losing in match week 33 to Wolfsburg 1-2, which I think was another that one we should have played, but just because we clinched the title, I was like, might as well simulate it, and I put it like kind of the B squad, quote unquote. And we lost that one, so we lost the 2 matches we lost. So kind of a pretty perfect Bundesliga season. Kind of that in mind. Kind of in terms of goals, where our players kind of finished in terms of like the Golden Boot and kind of other things is we did not win the Golden Boot. Haller from Dortmund won the Golden Boot with 27 goals in 34 matches. Our highest goal scorer was kind of third in the league, was Sadio Mane with 19 goals in 20 matches. So if he played more matches, he probably would have been up there, but because he was basically a goal per match. And then Kingsley Coman with 15 and 24. The assist, excuse me, I guess I have the hiccups. His assists we had, like the top 5 were all Bayern players, with Musiala with 14, Kimmich with 12, Gnabry with 11, Mane with 10, Mueller with 9, and then Choupo-Moting is also 9th with 6 assists in the Bundesliga, so that's pretty impressive. In terms of kind of clean sheets, Castells from Wolfsburg had 14, and then Manuel Neuer was second with 11 clean sheets, and then Jan Sommer was 9th with 4 clean sheets. That's kind of in terms of those things. So you have the other competitions we were in were the Pokal, which you can see here. We won 3-1, so we kind of basically had a. I guess like the game kind of like I guess doesn't count the Super Cup. We're kind of talking about trebles and quadruples and doubles and all that kind of stuff. But I guess I consider it, I guess personally. So this like the Pokal here would have been a kind of a treble because we had the Super Cup, the league, and then the Pokal the week after. Excuse me, sorry. Today we kind of beat Leverkusen in the final, but how did we get there? Oh, oopsies. That's the wrong button. There we go. So I started off in round 2 against Heidenheim. Won that match 4-1. So in this season, Bayern made it to the quarterfinals and lost. So the round 2 and round 16, or slash round 3. They played both those matches. So against Heidenheim, we won 4-1 with goals from Gravenberch, Kinsella, Tel, and Gnabry. In round 3 slash the quarterfinals, we got matched up against who we actually got matched up against in real life in round 2, Victoria Köln. They won that 4-1 with goals from Sane and then a Thomas Müller hat trick. Quarterfinals where we lost, so I kind of simulated that match. We were matched up against RB Leipzig, and we got goals from Goretzka and Delict, and won the match 2-0. Semifinals against Freiburg, so that's when I kind of had to start using the like looking back and last 5 results kind of thing. And we got play out of that because I think like the only time they'd beaten us in the last 5 from like kind of the 22-22 season, like and further back was the quarterfinal of the DFB Coca-Cola, and the rest of them were all wins, so the odds were kind of stacked against us simming the match. We ended up playing it. We had a Sadio Mane hat trick, and the final 3-1 against Leverkusen. That we actually got sim, which is kind of unlikely. I think also, if I look up like the whole thing I had like the last 5, yeah, Leverkusen we had like a loss I think in the last league match again in the 22-23 season, then 3 wins and a draw, so more likely we were going to win the cup based on me playing it, but we got sim. About it didn't really end up mattering. We won 3-0 with the goals from Kingsley Coman, Sadio Mane, and Leon Goretzka. So that completed the treble, and as I said, domestic treble with the Super Cup, the league, and the DFB Pokal. And before we hit up the Champions League, I'll hit up quickly just the Conference League and the Europa League to see who won those. Conference League was West Ham, who actually won it in real life. I think against Fiorentina. In real life was like the result. They beat Slavia Prague in the game here, 2-1. And the Europa League was Arsenal 2-1 over Sociedad. So the English kind of teams were sweeping up the European awards, except for in the Champions League here, where we could see we completed the quadruple and beat Juventus 3-1 in the final. So kind of in terms of how we got there, group stage in real life that season, Bayern did what we did here, and they won all 6 group matches, which is pretty impressive because they were in a group with Inter and Barcelona. And the group pretty much turned out exactly as did IRL. Let me just like look at the point totals to see if the other ones matched up. Not quite. So in terms of these like the standings, these are how they matched up because in real life Bayern Munich finished with kind of all 18 points. Then Inter finished second with 10 points. Barcelona was 7 IRL, but here they finished 8 and 6. Torrio Pilsen finished with an odd, so they got a kind of extra draw. And then Inter, I think, kind of drew Barcelona on the last match week of the season. Match week of like the group stage, like which kind of they would have, yeah. But so that kind of the group kind of finished exactly as it would have did IRL pretty much. Then in terms of the knockout stages, round 16, we obviously made it through. We beat like in real life they beat PSG in the round of 16. Here we got a matchup against Milan, so I played both those matches. First leg was the away leg. We won 2-1 with goals from Musiala and Mane. And the second leg was the home leg. We won 2-0 with goals from Musiala and Mane again. Quarterfinal was us getting matched up against Sevilla. So that one, like the away leg, like that was against Man City, who actually ended up going on to win the Champions League in real life. And here we got a match against Sevilla. The away leg, which was the first leg, was a simulated match because that's the like kind of Bayern Munich lost that year, which kind of basically knocking them out because they lost 3-0 in the first leg. Here we drew 2-2, the single match with goals from Goretzka and Choupo-Moting. And then the second leg was like basically a draw, so basically I would have like slow simmed and then hopped in to like kind of try and draw the match if Xavier took a lead, but they never did. Second leg we won 2-0, as you can see here with 2 goals from Sadio Mane to advance to the semifinals, where we got matched up against Real Madrid. Excuse me, sorry about that. And kind of Real Madrid, we had like a really poor record against. Like I think it was like 1 draw and 4 losses in their last kind of 4 from kind of this 22-23 season and prior. Because obviously 23-24 they played in the Champions League semifinals then, and Bayern won the first leg, but that didn't really because that's like in the future technically. I didn't include that in the last 5 matches. So the first leg we got the kind of the draw thing, so I kind of the slow sim. I was going to hop into Madrid to kind of score to try to draw the game, but they never did. And Serge Gnabry netted 2 goals to give us a 2-0 lead. And the second leg at home, I got the sim like quick sim thing, which was a 1-1 draw with João Cancelo goal, which kind of was enough to push to the final with an aggregate of 3-1. We got a match against Juventus. We had a better record against, I think pretty much almost a perfect record. Yeah, we had 4 wins and a draw in our last 5 against Juventus. Again, these are kind of like, from what I could tell, like using the UEFA website, because the only time these teams would match up in competitive matches would be in Europe, and they kind of had like the Champions League history against each other, like on a page on their website. That's where I kind of got the data from Real Madrid and Juventus. Leverkusen and Freiburg, who I kind of mentioned having to do this for earlier, I got it through basically like the season articles on Wikipedia and like kind of looking through those to do it. But yes, the final, Juventus, we had 4 wins and a draw, so we had a pretty good chance to be playing it and trying to win. And we landed on play, so I ended up playing the match. And we won 3-1 with goals from Gnabry, Goretzka, and Mane. And then Juventus kind of potted a consolation goal in like the 84th minute, which you'll see kind of at the end here, like at the end, right? Kind of like the videos from all like these kind of trophies at the end of the video here. So yes, we completed the quadruple. So we won 3-1 against Juventus. So that was a pretty excellent season. Instead, we won the quadruple. So I'll kind of get into the ramifications of that in a second. Kind of quickly touch on the owner kind of goals here. Our comments rating is kind of only moderate, even though we won the quadruple. I think because a lot of these other objectives we did not complete. All right, the youth development one didn't do that because again we didn't sign anyone. Run exposure completes a streak of 7 clean sheets in the league. The best we got was 4 in a row. Cause that's just like a really hard one to do, especially like yeah, it was just a hard one to do. Replace 3 players to the team again. I didn't sign anyone, so it wasn't really gonna happen there. The second one again, not really gonna happen without us signing anyone. The financial one, we were almost there. We were like in terms of reducing player wages based on the players we sold, but again, there was really no one else for us to sell, so I couldn't really reduce the wages any further. And then kind of us like re-upping Sane, Gnabry, and Mazraoui probably messed that up a little too, because we probably had to do that. We probably would have been maybe like closer to completing that one. And the second one, the youth sales, again, I didn't really have to sign the youth players, so I didn't like do that one. But then these like kind of domestic and continental success because you won the quadruple. We obviously met the board's goals. So kind of last but not least here, we'll kind of go through kind of player stats and whatnot. So pull that up here. Oh, man, EA, make less buggy games. I don't understand why this is a thing where you pull up the stats and just nothing shows up. Now here we go. Here are the actual stats. So as I said, Neuer kind of had a good season in goal. Jan Sommer was kind of like our backup, which was just like unreal. That's because of the whole Manuel Neuer ski injury thing, IRL. So they just went and signed Sommer in the January window or whatever to kind of basically play. And then ended up like flipping him to Inter or whatever. I think after like going on to United and all that good stuff. Yes, they both had pretty imperious seasons. João Cancelo that ended up playing an absolute ton of matches after Davies got hurt, and he also kind of come on a lot off the bench for Alphonso Davies. So Cancelo had a good season. They're near center backs were all pretty decent. The Ligt, I think, was the only one. No, him, Pavard, and Hernandez had goal contributions, which is nice. In terms of right back, Rezra and Stanisic both had decent seasons as well. CDM Joshua Kimmich was like the only person I think that played in every game because we didn't have a backup kind of second backup CDM available because I guess the rest of ours, the only other CDM we kind of had on the roster and the squad was Alexander Pavlovich, and he was like a 58 overall. And he went out on loan. And so basically we had like Goretzka and Gravenberch as like a kind of starter and backup, and then the only other like kind of 8 or 6 we had was Marcel Sabitzer, but he was on loan, so I didn't recall him, so we were kind of stuck there. So, but I mean, I actually want to look at his like doodads here, his like things. Huh, that's really interesting. 'Cause I would have thought he would have had one about like basically just like not losing stamina, because he like basically never like will, will lose a ton of stamina in matches, like despite like playing like every minute pretty much of every game. That's pretty incredible then, I guess. But yeah, he had a decent season, 14 assists, decent amount from corners, and him like pinging passes like left and right, and then the wingers kind of charging in and scoring and all that. So he had a good season. Coman had an excellent season here on the left. Didn't really end up selling him as I kind of said I was going to, because this was the first season, and then his contract is like what, 5 years, 4 years, so 5 years long, and no one really came in for him, so couldn't really offload him even though I kind of wanted to. Gravenberch here, Gravenberch and Gretzky here both decent seasons. Mueller as a backup decent season, and then Ron Musiala, another big assist was seen. Sane and Nabre were kind of popping up on the right wing. Sadio Mane, another one I probably would have wanted to sell, but again, his contract longer lasting, and no one really came in for him, so I couldn't. Choupo-Moting in his final season, because the game said he was retiring end of the season, had a pretty decent season as his last season. The club, that Mathys Tel had a pretty excellent season. He was overall went up 6 points, which is pretty bananas. But that's I think primarily because you know he's playing a lot because he's the player focus. I was going to play him a lot. He was basically the backup left winger slash kind of also striker because I had Mane kind of playing up front as the starting number 9 in the system, and then Choupo-Moting is the backup to him. And Tel is kind of Coman's backup, but he would sometimes, depending on game situations and stuff, I'd move him up to the 9 and whatnot. So he had got a decent number of appearances here, 38. As you can see, with 18 goals, 8 assists, which is pretty solid. So Tel did a pretty good job there. So I was pretty happy with that. So in terms of that, the season recap, there's not really much else I guess to really recap. In that sense, we kind of hit all the notes. We've hit like kind of transfers, results in all the various competitions, which was a quadruple, which is pretty exciting. And then kind of honor goals and the stats here, so we kind of hit all the points. But kind of in terms of what's next, as we kind of did win, the quadruple here and basically win every trophy available, there isn't really much point in continuing the series because that's kind of usually how we do it. Is we try to get for like these bigger clubs as many trophies as possible, and because it's kind of glad we won the quadruple because I didn't have to like kind of go through and try and do this like last 5 matches shenanigans like manually because like the website I typically use only has English football. So yeah, so we won basically all the possible trophies there is to win. So there's really no point continuing the series. This is kind of a one and done, like much like our Inter one, but kind of much more successful than the Inter one because we won every every trophy there is to win. So yeah, this is the last episode in the series, the kind of the second and last episode in the series. Yeah, so in terms of what's next, again, not really 100% sure. Kind of, jeez, excuse me, sorry for the hiccups. I don't really know why I have them at this inopportune time, but it is what it is. But yeah, so this is kind of the last episode of this series. What's next? Not really sure because I'm kind of flying on the seat of my pants here. Kind of, I don't really. It's more just like I have to like look up, see what's next, and then kind of decide. I don't really know because I haven't looked too far ahead. Because a lot of it's like kit quests and jersey quests, so that's kind of takes me like doing some planning and research kind of right before I start to decide like what exactly it's going to be. So yeah, this is kind of, yeah, as I said at the end of the series. Yeah, next series, not really sure what it's going to be. You'll find, I guess, no, not long after. I guess not like after I know when I kind of post the first episode of the series and whatnot. But yeah, so thank you to everyone who kind of watched this kind of very short series. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I hope you kind of check out the next series on the channel, whatever that may be. Thank you.
The season.
Well, it's certainly a good way to start the season. That's just what they wanted. They played really well today, and it's always great to keep winning trophies.
First piece of silverware, and that is never to be sniffed at, as the players applaud the fans who've been backing them today.
Well, it's great preparation for the season, Derek, and this is always a nice moment, going up to lift any trophy. Great for those fans as well.
Now for the trophy lift. And with friends and family in attendance, you've always got to really savour these moments when they come around, Stuart.
Well, they've got to enjoy this, Derek, and then get ready for a tough season ahead. They won't be celebrating too much tonight.
Absolutely, Stuart. They all know the show must go on after this. And now the players posing for the images that will be sent around the world.
Well, these are great moments, aren't they? Certainly ones to cherish, and they'll want more of this come the end of the season.
And now they get the ball rolling. Promising move this from Bayern. They do! And you've got to say they're good value for the lead. Really good diving stop to make sure the threat came to nothing. Aller. And that's it! A goal for Borussia Dortmund to square things here. Gnabry! In it goes! At the second time of asking, and the keeper feels hung out to dry. And the penalty is converted. A goal it is, and now he can exhale. Oh, could be. What a block. Substitution it is for Dortmund. Return to Aller. Real chance. Oh, really commanding goalkeeping. Opportunity. And he finds the net. He could hardly miss. Aller. Well, they pulled one back, but perhaps a bit too late in this contest. They haven't been at the races this evening. Oh, very effective play, and they might be onto something. And there is the goal to make it a hat-trick. Excellence in finishing there for everyone here, including the players, just waiting for the moment when they can celebrate their accomplishments. The trophy will soon be theirs.
Well, it's been a long wait, but it's worth it. Celebrating in front of their own fans. They've been excellent this season. They fully deserve to be the champions.
And that is a vivid picture of what we associate with this group of players. It's all about the team ethic. You can see what it means to this tight-knit team. Real solidarity.
Well, this is special for everybody at the club. What a great moment for any young player. And this is what you dream about when you start playing football. When you're playing in the playground, you want to win a cup. Brilliant moment.
Yes, a special moment in the career of any footballer. And now for the trophy lift itself. The cup winners.
Well, you can just see what it means to those players and the manager. That's fantastic stuff.
There's always the element of chance in a cup competition. But my goodness, they've taken the rough with the smooth. And now they savour the moment.
Well, for some of these players, it will be the pinnacle of their careers. They just have to take it all in now and realise what they've achieved here. It doesn't come much better than this, does it? And just look at those fans. They've followed their club everywhere.
Yeah, really a match made in heaven between players and fans. And these celebrations are going to continue for quite some time. And now the players get to relax a bit and enjoy having the pictures taken.
Well, these photos will be cherished for years to come, won't they? Certainly ones to show the grandchildren.
A story of one side celebrating and the other distraught. Memories are being made.
Well, just look at those scenes down there, Derek. What a contrast in emotions. Brilliant for the winners, despair for the losers. But overall, the right team won today.
Yep, you can see what it means to this tight-knit team. Real solidarity.
Well, this is special for everybody at the club. What a great moment for any young player. And this is what you dream about when you start playing football. When you're playing in the playground, you want to win a cup. Brilliant moment.
It's a special moment in the career of any footballer. And now for the trophy lift itself. The cup winners.
Well, you can just see what it means to those players and the manager. That's fantastic stuff.
There's always the element of chance in a cup competition. But my goodness, they've taken the rough with the smooth. And now they savour the moment. Full marks to the entire team. And now they get the chance to exhale and enjoy.
They've been brilliant in this competition, and so have the fans. They've really got behind their team. They've played a big part in this win. Just look at those faces in the crowd. Great stuff.
Yeah, really a match made in heaven between players and fans. And these celebrations are going to continue for quite some time. And now the players get to relax a bit and enjoy having the pictures taken.
Well, these photos will be cherished for years to come, won't they? Certainly ones to show the grandchildren.
Munich.
Well, just look at the emotions out there. Joy and relief on one side, despair and heartache on the other. But we've got the right winners here. They fully deserved it on the night.
For these players, well, it's the night of their lives. And they're determined to enjoy every millisecond.
Well, they have to make the most of this, don't they? It's a great feat. What an achievement from them.
Well, they don't need to be reminded about what comes next. It's the presentation of the coveted Champions League trophy.
Well, there's some tired players out there, but what you can be sure of, they'll find some energy when they get their hands on the trophy. They'll be going mad in the next few moments.
The Champions League winners, Bayern Munich.
Well, this is what they wanted. What a moment for these players. They've worked so hard to win this trophy. They've been fantastic.
And you can feel the emotion. It's natural to reflect on this final, but so much hard work has gone into the entire campaign. Memories, memories. What would a celebration be without the chance to enjoy it with your own supporters?
Well, these fans have certainly played their part, haven't they? They'll savour these moments. They've travelled far and wide to follow their team. They're loving every minute of this, and why not? They deserve it.
A performance of fire as well as ice. They held their nerve when that was necessary. And these celebrations will run long into the night.
Well, these are the moments they have to make the most of. It doesn't happen very often, does it? These will be photos to cherish for years to come. Brilliant stuff.
And you are looking at the best club side in Europe. It could have been awkward for the goalkeeper. It's there for keeper did more than enough. And now the delivery. Oh, it's a wild, wild finish. Gnabry! Oh, in it goes! The opening goal in the UEFA Champions League final. And a good-looking ball. And a goal to increase the lead in this final. Will they be stopped now? Choupo-Moting, and a good-looking ball. In it goes at the second time of asking, and the keeper feels hung out to dry. We saw the situation developing and threading it forward. Well, they pulled one back, but perhaps a bit too late in this contest. They haven't been at the races.